Hi guys, welcome to another episode of
Thriving After 30.
Why did you do that?
Because it sounds so cheesy. Every time I watch it back, it's like, Thriving After 30.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of
Thriving After 30. Sorry.
I'm Priya.
And I'm Kayla.
And today we're going to be talking about expectations when turning 30 versus our reality.
So, where to begin? The lead up to turning 30. Talk to me, Priya. What did you think turning 30 was going to be like?
I'm going to be honest. I did not have any massive expectations of turning 30. I was actually thinking about it today because I know that we're going to be having this discussion, but my main thing was I wanted to be married by the time I was 30. That's the only really big expectation, the thing that I had in my head for turning 30. And I think that was because I already had kids. Kids were out the way, done, dusted. I weren't going to have any more of those.
Check.
Tick. And I already was kind of in my dream job. I thought was my dream job already and working my way up. So that was already kind of ticked off. And then my car. I had the car I wanted. I think I'm going to be one of those old people with their cars and be like, I've had that car since 2000 and it's now 2050 because I love my car. So I had already kind of ticked those things that I kind of wanted.
Yeah.
And my main thing in my head was, right, I want to get married now. And that hasn't happened, of course. So I'm here.
Not yet.
Not married.
Not yet.
Not yet. But that was like the thing in my head was just, I just want to be married. Everything else is kind of running smoothly. And fuck my life. Let me tell you something. It just went all fucking upside down from when I turned 30. Life has been a whirlwind adventure. It's treacherous out here. 30s is not what you think it would be. It's mad.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I had a lot of expectations. Like, I grew up on the Disney films. Like, I was a Disney princess. I expected the husband, the white picket fence house. Like, I know I'm not in America, but I wanted all that. The 2.5 family, or whatever you called it, like husband, 2 kids and a dog. I had 1 kid, no husband, no home. No, I had a home, but
She had the dog, but no home.
I had the dog and the kid, but no home. No, but I had the house, but I didn't have a home. And that's always been a big thing for me. Like, I always wanted my son to have a family home. I didn't have a family home growing up, and I wanted my son to have that. And for me, I felt like a bit of a failure not being able to have done that. Also, as well, like turning 30, I got made redundant just after my 30th birthday. And just as I turned 30, we went into lockdown. So everything that, like, I had this great job and was about to start a new career, and literally basically the job offer I'd been given was taken back because of lockdown. The industry I worked in was so volatile, like there was just no jobs. So I won't lie to you, I was depressed. I was really depressed when I turned 30.
Oh, that sounds like a lot. It's really difficult, isn't it? I think where I mentioned, like, I was in my job, same, when I turned 30, when you turned 30 was lockdown.
Yeah, just after my 30. So lockdown was 2020. We went into lockdown March 2020 and my birthday was 27th of February.
Oh, and mine was 2021. So I was coming out of lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, so same with you. Like, I lost my job during lockdown, but I was able to secure another position straight away.
Yeah.
So kind of still doing like project work, which was my thing. And I did have, like, when I was a lot younger in my 20s, I had this expectation, like, I want to be on certain levels of money by the time I reach a certain age. But because I had kind of reached there, it was like, it wasn't a thought in my head. And I think the scary thing is now is, like, I'm a little bit stuck. Yeah. But turning 30, there was something about it, even though I just mentioned marriage, there was something about it that I thought just something magical was going to happen. It's like, oh, I'm 30, something amazing is going to happen. I'm a big woman. Like, I really wanted to be 30. I don't know what it was in my head, but I just wanted to be 30. And I can't explain what I thought was going to happen.
You feel like a grown-up.
You feel like a grown-up, even though I've been a grown-up for how long? Because
but it's like, I think for personally, it's like when you're in your 20s, you're still seen as kind of like carefree. And even if you're a mum or like you've got a family and whatever, you're still seen as like, oh, your 20s are carefree and stuff. And it's like your 30s, like, right, you're a proper adult now.
And I think it is a bit like, you know what I found having a child young and being a young mum, it felt like, well, I'm not a young mum now, am I? Because I'm 30. Before when I'd be at work, I'd be a bit funny about telling people how old I am. But now, like, I'm 30.
I'm 30. I'm a big woman out here. Big woman out here.
And I luckily it didn't. I do think being young in my field hindered my progress. It took a lot longer to get to where I wanted to get to because I was young and I looked young, and a lot of people that did know my age were even surprised that I was that age because I look young. So I think there definitely was something about turning 30. I'm like, I'm 30. I don't think I told people I was 30 from a long time ago, so I think they were confused when I actually finally turned 30. But I just thought something magical was going to happen, and it's not been like that.
No.
I feel like it's just been one thing after another. In my 20s, it felt like I can't remember life being stressful like it is now.
Do you know what? I feel like my 20s were more stressful than my 30s.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like my life has got easier in my 30s.
I can't see it. Like, I don't feel like obviously there's different parts that have got better, but I feel like it's been more stressful.
I think it depends. I think, okay, so from my point of view, doing it like as a single parent with younger children, it was more stressful because I couldn't do anything in my 20s. I was stuck raising a child. Now my son's a teenager in my 30s. I have a lot more freedom. So all these like going out and stuff like that, I wasn't doing in my 20s. So for me, it's like things have become less stressful on that aspect for me. I think like maybe like more grown up things. I'm not saying I've had no stresses in my 30s. I've had stresses like crazier stresses with like relationships than what I'd probably like, than I did have in my 20s and stuff. And I think like 30s it can be stressful in different aspects, but for me, on an overall, comparing my 20s to my 30s so far, I mean, I'm only halfway through my 30s, but like, we don't know what the next 5 years is going to hold.
The next 5 years better do it needs to change up. I'm praying on my 35th year and beyond, because right now I'm not loving my 30s. I feel so lost.
I have those same stresses of what am I doing next, but to me, that's not stress. Like, my stresses for me was, oh my God, in my 20s was like, mate, could I do X, Y, and Z? Could I do this? Like, could I afford this? Could I afford that? And other things were more stressful for me, of like making sure my kid was getting through a certain, like making sure I was doing certain things, being at, like you said, about being at a certain level in your job and stuff like that. But I do feel like in my 30s, I don't have those stresses anymore. So are they stresses or are they worries?
I feel like they are a combination of both.
Okay.
And I don't feel like they're, like you said, as you're a single parent, I've been with my partner a long time. So I've been able to have that balance of going out, doing things, doing kind of what I want. And where I've been in kind of a good position with my job for like a while now, I would say since, my daughter's 9 years old. So since she was little, I've already kind of been in that position where I can go and do things. Obviously now I can do a lot more things. Like, I have a lot more freedom, especially now she's older. But I feel like there's something about turning 30 that's just not been great. There's something about turning 30 that's not been great. And it's ever since I've turned 30.
Yeah.
The 30s do feel treacherous. Okay.
The treacherous, not thriving after 30, the treacherous 30. We're changing the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We're changing it. I've had you know what I've noticed from doing these podcasts is I've really reflected a lot. Every single episode, I go away and I think, wow, I've learned so much about myself. And you really do reflect doing these podcasts. Yeah. And I do think that, you know, I do have a good life in my 30s. I'm not going to take away that I don't have a good life. I get to travel. I go on nice holidays. My kids have great stuff. We have a great life. Things are good. But I feel very lost. And I don't feel like I felt as lost when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that is because actually I have high expectations now on certain things. It could be that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you know what we're going to do today?
Go on.
We're going to unpick that.
Okay,
and then
let's
I'm going
do
to go
it.
away after this and think,
Are they really that treacherous, or am I over it?
I might over-exaggerating it a little bit. But the 30s are not for the faint-hearted, so don't rush it.
She says don't rush it like you have a choice. You're 30 when you're 30.
Me, it's
fine. Go and get in the time machine. Go back to your 20s.
No, I was like, I want to be 30. I want to be 30. I want to be like, it was something about me. Like I just wanted to get older. I wished my time away.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to say is just embrace it a little bit more. I wish I did embrace my 20s a lot more. And maybe if I wasn't so bang on my career in my 20s and bang on like, right, I want this car, I want this, I want this, I want all of this out the way, that maybe in my 30s I'd have a lot more things that I kind of want now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think as well, maybe you've like, it is that, right. So I always say that most of us out here, we say we don't, but we do. We're always striving for the next best thing. And I think like with you've done so much in your 20s, you now hit your 30s, you're like you're saying, what next?
What next?
Yeah. Because I remember like in my 20s, and I, in my friendship group, was the one who had the best job. I worked in a really interesting field of work. I worked in media. I used to work with celebrities and footballers, and like I had a great job. I loved my job. Then when I got made redundant, I then had to go and work for the council because I was like, well, I've got bills to pay.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, because I look at jobs in media now and they don't pay close to what I'm getting now.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. And I think this is since turning, and I'm not going to say it was like as soon as I turned 30, but as things are progressing and years are going back by and different things are happening, I'm like, I'm in this job. I used to love my job. I used to skip to work. Woo! I used to be that mad person, like, I love where I go. Anyone who knows me, I was like, I love work.
You was an addict. I remember when I first met you, you was a work addict.
Work was a really big part of me because I really love working. And now I feel a little bit like, what is it that I want to do now?
What's your passion?
What's my passion?
Yeah.
What drives me? The thing is, as we get older, we're accustomed to a certain lifestyle. Like, I want to be able to travel here, there and everywhere. I want to be able to give my children a certain life where they don't need to be like, oh, mum can't do that, can't do this, can't do that. I can't have that. I can't have that.
Yeah.
That's why I've always said 2 kids and no more. Because guess what? If you can't afford them kids, we can agree to disagree. Don't have them kids.
No, sure.
Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is you're going to bring up, you'll get some kids that will be like, I'm happy with what I've got and that's it. Or you got some kids that are going to be like, I'm going to touch the roads and do what I need to do. And
that is a thing that I've always stated, like, and I've seen it like with people that I've known and grown up with, is most of these kids that are roadmen on the roads have touched the road because their mum's working 3-4 jobs and trying to provide for 10 kids. Like, and they don't have the latest trainers, or they got bullied because they didn't have certain things in school and like that. So they touch the road so they can provide it and they can help their mum out and stuff. And that's why I've not had more kids.
But yeah, so I've become accustomed to a certain life where now I am, like you said, I'm quite complacent. And that makes me sad that I'm now in my 30s and I'm not buzzing.
Yeah, I say that I've watched since lockdown, I've become very lazy. Not being around people, I've lost my creative spark. And I say this, like I've spoke to you about this probably for the last year. I've been saying like, I need to do something creative. And this podcast has been great for me, being able to like, it's brought back part of my creative spark, but it's not enough for me.
Yeah.
Like, I love doing it, but it's not enough. I need more because there's only so much I'm doing for the podcast. Like on my day-to-day, I need something to bring back this spark. And right now what I'm doing is not doing that for me. So I've said like 2026, I've really got to sit down and think about what do I want to do with myself? Like what makes me happy, and what I think I need to work out what my dream job is. That's the thing. Like I don't just want to apply for jobs.
Don't you think it's scary though? Because I feel like I have been trying to find what that looks like. What is it that I want? Why is it so hard to unpick? And also, even when I have looked for other roles, it's like, oh, I can't afford to drop money. Like we mentioned, I can't afford to drop money, not at this age. you know, and I'm talking about, it's not dropping a little bit. It's maybe if I decided to go completely into a different field, it's taking a big drop, and it's scary. It's like, oh, why didn't I think about this when I was younger?
Yeah. And you also feel like if you're moving, you then like, so we saw this thing where, I don't know if you remember when we was at the Black Business event where they were talking about like, they call it like the ladder.
Yeah, the wobblies.
Yeah, instead of going up, like you sidestep and all of that. But actually, when you're doing these sidesteps to go into a completely different field or like a complete thing, like, you feel like, I genuinely feel like I should have done that in my 20s.
Should have done it in my 20s.
Why am I having to start all over again in my 30s? And I know people say, oh, you can start over
when
any age.
When you've got kids and bills and a certain lifestyle, it is not easy to be like, do you know what? I'm going to take a 10K pay cut.
Can't do it.
I can't do it. As I said, I think the positive thing is it's not like I'm having kids now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to sidestep. That's one thing that keeps me alive, is that I'm 34 years old. I've got a 9-year-old. I've got a 16-year-old. By the time I'm 42, I'm counting down to my 40s. You know, this is mad. I'm like, by the time I'm 42, my daughter's going to be, 18? And Kieran will be...
So how old am I going to be then?
20-something. I'll have an 18 and a 20-year-old. Big people. I still feel like 40s is still quite young.
39, G. Yeah. 39 and I'm free.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? 39 and you're free. And you can then decide, you know what, I can take a pay cut and I've not got to fund this little child's lifestyle. And even if it depends what everyone's money circumstances are different. Yeah. But I know that I could, when obviously the cost of living will be going up by then, but I could probably take about a 10 grand pay cut and still be able to live nice if I did.
Because you lose a load of expenses. You're not having to pay for all their stuff. You lose a load of
expenses. As long as I can cover my house and just living, that's calm. But right now, there's no way. So I think that maybe that's added to, you know, I know you can thrive after 30, but it's a little bit treacherous when you've got big kids in your 30s that have got high expectations.
To be fair, I think for me...
Which I'm grateful for the high expectations. I want them to have, you know, a certain...
Yeah, I think the thing, like, I always feel like I've definitely got more money than I did in my 20s. Like, I'm, like, financially, I'm a lot better off. However, I do feel like, and I'm sure you agree with me, kids, boys, clothing, trainers... The cost of trainers.
So do you know what? I'm so glad my son likes his beat down Pumas. I'm like, they are giving. My son's Pumas give me red flags. Every time I see him, I'm staring at them now. Every time I see these shoes, I'm just like, babes, don't you want some other trainers? So I got these Pumas for PE, strictly PE. School's long done. You're halfway through the cooking thing. College, and your hair with the rundown, beat down pins. I might have to just hide them. And you know what? I've got nothing wrong with it. Like, each to their own. And actually, he doesn't cost me a lot of money when it comes to clothes. My daughter now, it's this whole, you know, they like all their skincare, and I'm like, you're 9 years old. I am very mindful of skincare. I make sure I do all my checks before anyone starts. I make sure it's child friendly. But like £70 for a cream. You think, what the hell is going on? But yeah, it's the kids. Yeah. They take it out of you.
They 100% do. Like I said, I mean, clothes wise, I think when my son was younger, right? So you got to think, early 20s, of course, I wanted my son to have every type of Nike tracksuit, like every type of Air Forces. That was me. My son wanted light up Spider-Man shoes, but I won't let him have them.
Yeah. Even though now I'd probably like give them the light up, but maybe it's an older mum thing. Give them the light up. Do you want the light up trainer? Take the light up trainer. But back then I'd had every colour matching you ever had to go with the little trainers. I was like, no ways. Yeah. And now look at him with his bust down Pumas.
But it's the same with Ash. Like, I'm like, cool. Like, you're not, you don't want the £150 tech fleece. You want a pair of £7 Shein emo baggy trousers. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Now my money goes on holidays.
Yeah, like as I said, my daughter is more of my expense. I think my son, you know, he likes to go out, do things with his friends. You've got to fund, obviously, because he goes to college, cooking school up London. It does cost a lot of money to get up there. Yeah. But, you know, a lot of our money, I feel like I had a lot more money in my 20s, I'll be honest. And I don't know if that is, I don't know why that is. I don't know if, as I said, the lifestyle has increased. You know, mention the kids.
But you had a better job in your 20s.
Yeah, I had a better job in my 20s.
See, I didn't. Like, I think my first job that I started in was like 11 grand a year.
Yeah.
And I was in that job for a good couple of years in my 20s. It was only saying that, I think even up until I turned...
What, full-time?
Full-time, yeah.
What are they doing? How can they give you that?
That's what I was on when I was on like 11 grand a year. But we're talking like 13 years ago. And I used to have to travel bare far for it as well. And pay yeah.
Oh, that's not illegal. That's not legal money.
No, 13 years ago.
Yeah, but still, I was only not that much younger than...
No, I know, but no, I was about 11 grand. Sure.
Oh, bloody hell.
And then when I was... No, I think, it was 11 grand, and then I went up to 15.
What?
Now, like, yeah.
No, I know. And this is the thing. It's sometimes I hear salaries in my head, and I'm like, how would you survive on that? But that's just because I've been to get myself in a position that I was on decent money to kind of survive the life. But I think now, obviously, with the lifestyle, like going out to really nice restaurants. I used to like to go out to restaurants before, but not like to the standard that I'm maybe going out to dine now. Yeah. Even some of the holidays I'm going on, I used to go on holidays before, but now it's like, I don't want to just go on 2 holidays. I want to go on like 5 holidays a year and more.
And mine is the destinations. You're not catching me dead in Spain anymore. And I know that sounds so fucking horrible to say that. Like,
I don't mind going to Spain.
I'm not going to Spain.
But the only reason I'm not going into places like Spain, really, I went to Ibiza the other day, I had a fucking blast.
Yeah, no. But I'm talking about a family holiday. I'm not going to Benidorm. I'm not going to Benidorm.
What I think it is for me, it's like, because I've travelled to so many places now, I will not really go to places like Spain because I just feel like I'm not appreciated there. And I think that's more culturally. That's the only reason I'm going to go there. No,
I'll be honest. I feel like I'm too bougie for it now.
Yeah, but
that's honestly.
Like there's some nice places out there.
There are. It depends on where you go. Right. Okay. I'll be straight and come for me all you want on this. Like, I used to do the holidays in Benidorm, in Lanzarote, in Tenerife. I did all them, the all-inclusives, like 300 quid per person, like all-inclusive for a week. I did it all in my 20s when I didn't have no money. I'm in my 30s now. I've outgrown those kind of places. Like, don't get me wrong, you might catch me in the south of France, but I'm paying big, like 1,500 per person just to go to the south of France, go skiing. Like, that's the only way you're catching me over there.
No, I definitely hear you on that.
But I'm not going.
Not your first choice.
I'm not going there.
Yeah, I wouldn't go out my way. My main reason is
unless someone is something like for
a family holiday or someone's going specifically.
No, not a family holiday.
If I was going on a big family holiday and everyone said, "Oh, do you know what? We want to go to Spain." I would do that. But I have always.
Sorry, when you said family holiday, I thought you meant like just.
No, I wouldn't just go and pick up the kids and be like, "Right, we're going to Spain." But that's more because of like a cultural thing where I've learned over the years that there's certain places within Europe that I have no business going because you do not appreciate me. So I'd rather go to somewhere that appreciates my skin, appreciates me, appreciates my family, than going to places in Europe where you're looking down at me. Like, I went to Ibiza the other day, a bit of a contradiction, but Ibiza's Ibiza.
Ibiza's Ibiza. But I'm not. But you didn't take the kids to Ibiza.
Yeah, it's completely different. But I do feel like, as you said, when we get older now, there's like levels to the certain places that we want to go, the experiences that we want to have while we're away.
Also, as well, it's like, I remember everywhere I went as a kid on holiday, and like I get like there's some countries where there's different places in there that you can go, but I feel like once I've been one place, I've been there. I want to be able to take my son as far around the globe as I can. Like, I don't want to say, okay, right, we went to Turkey, let's go to the other bit of Turkey, because as far as I'm concerned, once I've been Turkey, I've been Turkey.
Do you know what? But then I think it's really different because where I've been to certain places, like say for example Thailand, last year February, we went to Phuket and Fifi. I'd already been there years ago, but I took the kids. Then December, Christmas, we went Koh Samui. We went to Koh Samui, we went to Bangkok, and we went to, Chiang Mai. We went to Chiang Mai. But it's completely different. Yeah. So I feel like sometimes, it's like when I went to Kenya, I went to Diani, and let me say, right, you know, someone came for me on TikTok. They were like, it's not Diani, it's Diani. They probably spelt it out. I was like, all right, fucking hell, mate. You're not going to like how I pronounce things, because I've got really bad pronunciation sometimes. So come for me. Anyways, Diani in Kenya, where it was like, wow, beautiful white beaches. These beaches that I've never seen white sand like that, like with little crab bits on the floor. But then we went to Nairobi, where it was like completely different. Yeah. So I feel like, even though you can go to somewhere, there's so many places. There is, and I'm not saying I will never not go again. But you prefer to go. But I prefer going somewhere different. Yeah, like I'd rather say, okay, so like this year, like we went to Doha this year. I'm going to Abu Dhabi this year, and I'm going to do Dubai. But then I will go back to Dubai by myself. But I want to be able to... Different experiences, yeah, because you're going with a child. Exactly. It's like us, we're going to Antigua. I went to Antigua as a kid. But now I'm going as an adult, and we're going to a different part of Antigua. So, but when I take Ashley places, I want to try and take him as many places as possible around the world. Because you know what I think? Yeah, like I think about when I turned 18, my mum used to take me on holiday as a kid. And from the age of 18 up until I was 24, I didn't go on a single holiday, because it was my responsibility to pay for my own holidays then. And I didn't have the money for it. The first holiday I went on was Spain, with Ashley when he was like 3 or 4. I took Maya and Maya's first holiday was to Magaluf. But that was it. Like, but that's what we could afford. Exactly, what we could afford then when she was a baby, and we're like, okay, this is not too far to take her. Yeah, because you want to. The first not too bad. Exactly. Yeah, and I get all of that, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, but like I say, as I've got older, my lifestyle has changed. My money has got better. So once I've experienced something, it's like you don't go and you don't try the finer things in life to then go back. You want to keep progressing. That is a scary. And that's why I won't fly first class right now. That is one thing, yeah. I won't do it. I will not fly first class right now, because once I've done it once, I have to be able to maintain it. Do you know what? I'll be honest. Like, obviously, I've done business Emirates. Oh, that was such a good experience. Like, it was such a great experience. I done that for my birthday the other day. Solo trip to Dubai. It was lovely, because don't need to worry about anyone else. Just get on that plane and lay down on that bed. But I don't feel like now I'm like, I can't do any other class again. I'll jump back on that economy same way. I couldn't do it. See, like no, because my goal is to increase the lifestyle, never to go back. But to me, I'm very also conscious about money. It's like, do you know how many other holidays I could go on with that one business class or first class flight? Do you know how many I could go on? It doesn't make sense. No, and I do get that, but it's like, if I'm at a point where I can afford that all the time, why would I not? Crazy. Yeah, I get it. And that's why I'm saying, that's why I won't do it now, because I can't. You know what it is if I do it now, I know I can't afford to do it all the time right now. And I will sit there and I'll be seething every time I get on a plane, sitting there cramped up. Although one thing, I don't care. I don't fly Ryanair. You will not, like, anything over an hour and a half, I will not sit on the Ryanair flight. I'm not doing it. But like that cramped up after when I saw yours, I was like, yeah, you think I'm going back to see, I sit there and think, yeah, I don't feel like that. I liked that. It was a birthday treat. I'll probably do it again in a few years' time, but I don't know if that's like something I'd want to do all the time. But then do you feel now that you have to let the kids experience that as well? Yeah, the kids are going to have to experience it. And that's my thing then. Yeah. It's like, once I've done it, because one thing I always make sure, like, and I stick by this 100%, and I don't give a fuck who comes for me for this. I don't like parents who go on holidays and they don't take their kids on holiday. Like, my thing is, if I go on holiday, my son has to go on a holiday afterwards or before. He has to have a holiday that same year. You can't tell me that every year you go on holiday, your kid's never seen a fucking airplane. Like, that makes me sick. That is bizarre to me. It makes me sick. Like, what do you mean you're out here living your best life and your kid's never seen inside of a fucking plane? Like, I'm sorry. It's something that really, really bugs me. I would feel really guilty. Like, even this year, like, I took my son to Morocco. We'd done a solo trip together. And then we went to Portugal as a family, and I took my daughter to Paris. And then we were meant to go to Jamaica in a few weeks, but obviously we've had to cancel that because of everything that's going on. But even then, like, I've now got to a stage where I do the same.
And also, your son went away I
paid for my son to go away by himself. Well, he was there with an adult, but I paid for him to go away.
But I was like, Ash, I paid for him. He went to Iceland with the school.
Yeah,
not cheap. These school trips, not cheap. But it was
never went on.
And it was because I felt guilty because we went to Doha.
Yeah, you do get that natural guilt.
Felt guilt, so I was like, right, cool. Like either where am I taking you, and then it was like the school trip came out. I was like, brilliant, go on then.
But this is the thing as well. It's like naturally. As I said about that trip, my son would come downstairs and he was like, oh, Mum. His cousin basically said to him, oh, it's my 18th birthday and I really want you to come. And he said to me, oh, yeah, Mum, it's on this date. And I thought he meant November, okay? No, it was literally in 2 weeks' time. And then I just looked at him and I thought, I can't say no to you. Like, I want you to have these experiences. And he looked at me, he was like, Mum, it's okay if you can't do it right now. And I thought, I'm so grateful that you can even come to me and have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because I don't, like, a lot of people can't do that. And even like next year, he's got another trip, a holiday booked with his friends. And I know I'm doing that right now, but I know that I will get back everything from my children that I put in. And you have these children for a reason. And I feel like where we're in a position now, to give them, we have to. And that is why I've worked so hard through my 20s to now, because I wasn't being that young mum who didn't have anything, who, you know, just had these kids. She was a failure. She, like, everything was run down around her. Like, I was never going to be that.
My fear is trying to find that balance to make sure you're not spoiling them, but you're still giving them everything they like. They don't need to ask for anything. One thing don't get me wrong, obviously we spoke about my son's mad behavior when he was younger, but all in all, my son is a very well-rounded, polite young boy. Like, people that meet my son, especially now, he's got so mature now as well, but people that meet him have always said like how polite he is, how respectful he is. Not in school, obviously.
Teachers are, let me tell you, we're gonna have to do a whole other podcast about teachers. These teachers these days are mad. Like, a lot of them shouldn't be teaching. A lot of you have got your teaching degree, you're stuck and you're just doing it and you're riding a wave.
You went in it for the school holidays.
You went in it for the school holidays, or you thought it was going to be light work and it didn't end up being light work. These teachers are like, fuck these kids. And I know, like, I could never work with kids. As much as I want to change the world, I want to be the person in the background doing all the policies. Anyways, let's not even get into teachers. I'm stopping smoking. I've stopped smoking and I'm not going to let my blood pressure go up. Yeah. But I think it's really important to
have that balance
and do what you can do. And as you said, like, when you finish your 30s, your child is going to be a whole adult. I'm going to already have an adult in a few years.
Because you know what it is, I always think as well, is I'm not just raising my son, I'm raising someone's future husband.
My son's going to make let me tell you something, if his future wife is watching this one day, my son is going to be a very good husband. I feel like I've done a very good, I don't know where he came from. He's definitely God sent. You know, when you look at someone and think, wow. And I'm not just saying it because he's my son.
I apologise to my son's future wife. He still hasn't learned how to pick his socks up off the floor. So I am still trying. My
son's room is insane. It's insane. But you know what? I feel like he will clean up a house for a woman, you know. I'm not going to lie. But I think definitely money and lifestyle wise, 30s has been, even though I feel like I had more money in my 20s, but as I said, it's got more extravagant now.
Yeah.
And I am very much enjoying, I started off by saying it was treacherous, but I am enjoying being able to go out. And I think I'm going out a lot more. Now my son's turned 16, I can now say, oh, well, you can look after your sister if I go out. Where before, I don't know, I've always been funny, is I've never left him with her when they were younger. When he was, as soon as he turned 16, I was like, okay, we can test the waters and see how this works. And now I can be like, oh, do you know what? I can go out for a dinner, or I can go here. Yeah. So I think I'm enjoying the money more. And as I said, I was looking at my countries I've been to. As you said earlier about going to different cities, I've only been to just over 20 countries, but I've been to over
only
50 cities.
That's impressive. I mean, you say just 20 countries. That's still impressive to me.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think, wow, bloody hell, I can't even believe I've been to that many places. But you know, that's such a small part of the world when you actually look at it in the map and you think, wow, do you know how much more travelling I want to do? That's why I hope that, you know, I don't know what I hope for, but I hope for 35 plus is fucking a dream, mate.
Listen, you don't understand the travelling I'm going to do once the child is off hand.
Yeah.
So I feel like 30s has really played a lot on my on self-growth. I think in my 20s I winged a lot of my life, and I just kind of rolled with the punches and all of that. And I think 30s I've become a lot more self-aware and conscious about my identity and sort of like who I am and where I want to go. Where, like I said, in my 20s that wasn't a big deal for me. What about you?
Do you feel like that?
Yeah.
Everyone always says, oh my gosh, Priya, like you've evolved, you've changed so much, like in such a positive way as I've got older. And I definitely feel like I have changed in a positive way. And I just don't know if that's my perspective on things. And as I said, like, because I've traveled a lot, I've learned, and the places I've been to, I feel like that has really like created me as molded me into the person I am. I definitely feel like I have a different perspective on how I see things than I did in my 20s. But sometimes I feel like I don't know who I am, and I don't know exactly like what is it that I mentioned earlier, like what is it that I want?
I don't think I'm there yet. Oh no. I'm
definitely evolving. And I know that is actively happening, but I don't know, who am I?
No, and I think, like, for me...
Does that matter? I know that sounds so
I do
weird.
get it.
Like, what do you mean you don't know who I am?
No, I don't know who I am.
I don't know who I am.
You don't know who you are.
You don't know who you are. Like, what do you mean you don't know who you are? But I'm a mum.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem, is 20s... Okay, so, like, your teens, you're discovering yourself. Then, for those that have had kids in their 20s... or late teens, early 20s, you then become that child's mum. And that's all you're known as. Like, you're just, you're so-and-so's mum.
And then your children get older.
And then, like I say, for me, it's been that, and I can't even say it was the beginning of my 30s. It's only been, like, I'm now mid-30s. But I'd say only probably from the last, I'm going to be, I'm going to be 36 soon. But the last sort of 2 years, coming up to 2 years, where I'm now thinking about me. I've been like, if it wasn't my son, it was the relationship. There was always someone else I was thinking of. Like, I never put anything into me. And I think my 30s is now, my mid. I'm going to say, no, I can't even say just my 30s, because my mid 30s and beyond is now, I'm being a bit more selfish and I'm putting me first.
No, and that's exactly what it should be like. And that's such a beautiful thing that you can say, like, I'm starting to put me first. And I think definitely having a child that is now getting older helps. Maybe from my perspective, it's like, I've got my son, he's getting older, but I've got my daughter who's still so young. I've still got to get her through treacherous high school. But I feel like for myself, like, I don't know, do I have a hobby? I look at all these people on like TikTok, like,
you do have a hobby. Your hobby is traveling.
Expensive hobby. Like, what other hobby can I have that I just take part in the UK? I haven't found that. I haven't found my thing.
Gym. There's so many things. Do you know what it is?
Do you think that's a hobby?
I do. I genuinely think gym's a hobby.
Really?
Yeah, because it's something I have to enjoy doing. Eventually, for me,
but
mine
peaks and flows. Do hobbies have peaks and ups and downs?
Of course they do.
Do they?
Yes. Think about when you was a kid.
Maybe I don't know what hobbies. If my hobby is traveling, I love it. Like, it's never been an up and a down.
Okay, think about what's your looking like this. What are your kids' hobbies? Are they constantly doing? Because I think of Ashley.
Yeah, and they really love them.
Yeah, but for how long?
They've loved them for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, like Maya's loved performing arts. She's been doing it since she was like 4.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just because I got ADHD. Me and Ashley, we do things for 5 minutes and then we get bored.
Yeah,
and move on to the next.
Kieran's loved cooking for years. Like they've loved their hobbies.
Fair enough.
But where with me, actually I might get into something, but then I'm like, don't know about this anymore.
Yeah, that's me. That's me for hobby. Yeah. And I don't think I'm ever going to
find my thing. And do you know what? Actually, me and Kay have our accountability Sundays where we sit down and we talk about our plans for the week.
Yeah. And we set each other a goal for the next week as well.
We set each other a goal, and this is actually like talking about identity and self-growth. Like that has helped me grow a lot more. Like just having those meetings and knowing like every Sunday I'm going to sit down with someone and we're going to hold each other accountable and we're going to do check-ins.
But you know where this stemmed from? Was when you started your life coaching. And,
I know.
And the thing was, so I said, when Priya first started her life coaching, she wanted a few people to kind of test out on stuff. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, this would be great for me. And I absolutely loved it. And then when we came to the end of like my trial, she wouldn't let me continue. And I was like, mate, I got so much done in them 4 weeks. Like, I honestly, this is what I mean. Since lockdown, I've become so lazy. Like, unless someone tells me I need to do something, I don't do it. And that every week, because I knew I was meeting with Priya every week.
So organised.
I was so organised, and I got everything done. And now, because we meet every Sunday, and like, one thing I've learned, the main thing I've learned from this is not to set myself so many goals.
Yeah.
I have to be like, limit them and not get stressed when I don't. Like, I've learned so much of like, of things to do, like what helped me sort of set goals and actually succeed with them. And because I know every Sunday we're meeting and I know I'm going to be held accountable, where you're going to question me, okay, but why did you not do that? It pushes me to like, I literally check that list like 3 times a week. Like, what have I done? What do I still need to do?
Yeah.
So like when you move the meetings forward and I'm like, shit, I was going to do that before 7 p.m.
Oh, is that what you're doing now?
No, not all of them.
I figured out the other day when you were like, oh yeah, I was meant to do that before we met. That should have been done the day before.
I know.
Like talking about like self-growth and identity, like that has made me really kind of reflect on like what are the tasks am I setting myself to try and do what I need to do?
Yeah.
To get to where I'm trying to go, whatever that looks like. And I think the interesting one that you sent me, which I may find a hobby in, is, so as Kay mentioned earlier, Kay said, do you know what, I think it would be really good if we set each other a goal and
it's something to bring us out of our comfort zone a little bit.
Something to bring us out of our comfort zone. So I was thinking, what the fuck is she going to give me? And she was like, I want you to go to a fun class. It has to be like cardio class, or core.
Yeah.
I was thinking, something
because if I told Priya just go to the gym, she'll go to the gym. It's no problem. But for Priya to come out of her comfort zone, I need her to go and be around other people, because she doesn't like being around people as well, and do something fun. I go and do like a Zumba class. I can't dance for shit. I full on took on my white side, like can't dance, but like I can't dance for shit. But I will go to a Zumba class, and I don't care. Everyone's going that way, and I'm going that way, but it's still enjoyable, and it's a little bit competitive. These classes, like I might find someone in the mirror, and you're my competitor for the whole hour. As long as I go longer than you, that's all I care about.
That is so
I
funny.
said to Priya, I want her to do an hour, like 45 minutes to an hour, like a cardio class or like a yoga or something out of her comfort zone. And she has to do it once a week.
So I was like, right, I need to find something to do. And I was getting myself really worked up because obviously I'm a very busy woman. So I'm like, how am I going to fit this into my diary? Obviously, I was meant to be going to Jamaica. So my diary was like rampant with all of this stuff that I needed to do. I was looking at like these bouncing on these little trampoline classes. And I thought, oh my God, what happens if I drop off and I drop off in front of everybody? I can't do a Zumba class. We even went to go and do a heels class.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what? I feel like I spoke it into existence. I prayed this into existence. How was I like, I really don't want to go to this heels class. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Weren't I banging on about not wanting to go to this heels class? How did we turn up at the heels class and magically, the date on the ticket had changed to a different date? It had changed to a different date. No notification. It was a sign I wasn't meant to be there. But I'm really glad that I have got that task, and I haven't been able to do it.
No, we said from the new year.
From the new year.
Yeah, because I wasn't keeping to mine either. So.
Yeah, and I think
Priya wants me to stop weighing myself.
Yes, because I think it's very dangerous.
I'm addicted to weighing myself and losing weight.
very addicted. But in the new year, I'm going to jump on it. And I think what I've actually learned also from doing this podcast is, I know that I've mentioned before, like, I don't really like being around loads of people. I think in my 20s, I was more open to being around loads of people and having loads of people around me. I know a lot of people, but I'm very conscious about not everyone's your friend. And I always say that to my kids as well. Not everyone's your friend. I hate when people are like, that's my friend. That's not your friend. Like, there's a difference between a friend and associate. And I've always had that drilled into me. You know what my grandma used to say to me? Don't keep too much friend. My Jamaican accent is wild, yeah?
Oh, I thought you were doing your Indian nun. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I'll do that again.
I'm dead.
Like, just cut. But yeah, like, don't keep too much friend. So that so that has been like instilled into me from when I was younger. So I haven't really been able to trust people. And I think when I was younger, you're a bit more vulnerable. Where now I've got boundaries. I'm very big on energy. I can't be around loads of people just to be around people. I feel like I absorb energy, and I can find people really draining. So even though, like, going to the exercise class, I'm not going to bounce on a trampoline and suck in everyone's energy. But it's like, you know, that small talk. I don't really like it. But as I said, from doing this podcast, I've actually been a lot more open to mingling a little bit and meeting people. Like, we went to that Black Business event. I really enjoyed it there. You brought me right out my shell. Kay was going around talking to people, and then I was going around talking to people, and next thing I had all these freebies, and I was like, but I am being more open to it. But I think it's from us sitting down and having these conversations and me really realizing that actually it's okay to meet new people and it's like, what can you bring to the table? What can you take from all these people? Because I've got my friends from back in the days that I've grown with. But now it's like, the friends that I make now, I really do want them to be like, what are you bringing to the table? Because I'm allowing you into a chapter in my life where I really want to learn. As I said, I don't really know what I want, but I want people to come into my life and show me different things and make me kind of, not competition, as we said before, but think, oh, look, they're doing this. I really want to, like, learn how I can do this, or, you know, learn how I can be a better person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get that. And I think for me, like, obviously I've met you in my 30s, and, like, I think that's probably the one good thing that came out of my whole situation in my 30s. But, like, my other long-lasting friend, like my childhood friend, I think I've learned that I have to have friends for different things. I think sometimes before, I was very much, when I grew up, I had like a friend here, a friend there. I never had a friendship group. I had like the odd friends with different things. I've always been that person. And the last couple of years, I actually got to experience the whole friendship group thing. And it was something I'd wanted for so long, but I actually realized it's not for me. I like having different friends for different things. It can be overstimulating for me. As much as I feel like I want to be around, I can't. Like, I get overwhelmed. And like I say about, so like, it's too overstimulating for me. I like having low maintenance friendships. Like, I value our friendship because, like, don't get me wrong, I know we talk every day, but it's that thing, if we didn't talk, there would be no animosity. Like, there wouldn't be like, oh my God, like, is something wrong? Or
no, I'd be sending you hate mail.
You'd send me hate mail? We didn't talk?
I'd be calling you an unknown number. Who you with, bitch?
You would not, you're a liar.
It's so funny. No, there wouldn't be, because we know each other.
Yeah.
I think it would be very odd if we didn't all of a sudden, like, speak for
No, I don't think we would.
Speak,
but I think it's like, if okay, like the other day when you just stopped smoking, where you said to me, I don't really want to be talking those right now.
Yeah, I felt like,
and it was like,
pressure,
but for me, it was like, I respected it, and I didn't feel like, I knew it wasn't directed at me. I didn't think, oh my God, like, is there something wrong with it? Whereas I think when I was younger, I did used to feel like, and I think that when we spoke about this in the ADHD episode about the rejection dysmorphia, plays a part in it. So when I didn't speak to someone for a couple of days, I would feel like, have I done something to them? Like, do they not want to be friends with me? Whereas like with our friendship, when we first became friends, we didn't talk every day. We would catch up here and there. And then as we got closer, obviously we started talking more. But because you were always busy, we couldn't talk all the time. Whereas in my 20s, I used to have those friendships where I would sit on the phone to someone probably most of the day. And it was very unhealthy. And it was something I wanted to grow out of. And then in my 30s, and I met you, and like I say, your friendship helped me be able to do that, because I couldn't sit on the phone. Like, you were busy, I was busy. There was no time. Like, I remember at one point with a friendship where I'm meant to be working and I'm sitting on the phone for 2 hours with someone.
Yeah, like, it's long. It can be really
and it was very draining for me. Like, and I agree, it's the same. Yeah, energies. Like I don't know if you remember when we went to one of those it was one of our first ever spiritual retreats we went to, and it was in Shoreditch.
Oh, you had to leave?
I had to leave, because I kept feeling someone else's energy in me, and it was horrible. Like, it was actually making me so depressed.
I woke up. No,
not that one. No. No, that was
I woke up and she'd done a runner.
That's because I needed to fart. The first ever one we went to is not the ones where we stayed over. It was like, we sat there, and do you remember, like, we had to write down stuff. It was
I'm Alchemist.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It was like the first ever one we did. And I just remember we were sitting in this circle, and it was like we was all having to connect to each other. And I came over feeling so crappy from it. And I remember leaving and feeling like really sad, and being like, and talking to you about saying like, I picked up on someone else's energy. And I actually think that person was suicidal. Because the energy that I came out of there with was horrible. The actual experience of the whole thing was lovely, but like I say, someone's energy, when we did that connecting thing,
it didn't sit right.
It didn't sit right with me, and I felt really sad for them. But like, it's that whole thing of like being around people's energy too much. You do like automatically take on other people's energy.
Yeah, and it's just not nice. But yeah, I think it's really important as we're getting older now. It's like, who do you want around you, and what do they bring to the table? And as you mentioned, like having different friends for different things.
So I guess we kind of just round this off with like, what has been your biggest realization for your 30s?
We're not actually old. Life is just beginning. I think I just rushed through my 20s instead of really embracing it, being young. But I think as well, like reflecting on our discussion today, I think that's because I had a child young, I had children young, which I'm so grateful for, because I'm going to be 40 and lit. Do you know what I'm saying? But we're still young, and there's still time to figure it out, because I'm still figuring it out. And navigating your 30s is not going to be easy. You got all these people that, you know, we're thriving after 30. Yeah, I've sat there and I've listed all the great things that are happening in my 30s. And I do feel like a lot of people look and think, well, your life's good. But everyone, I don't think my life's not good. But I think there's different, I feel lost sometimes. And I think navigating my 30s or navigating your 30s is not going to be easy. But it's exciting. And I feel like I'm learning a lot about myself. And I'm really excited to turn 35 now, guys, because 35s and plus, 35 to 40 is I'm praying on it. I'm praying on it being smooth sailing, maybe a ring at some point in like my life. But yeah, like I'm praying on it, and I'm feeling really positive about the next few years ahead. What about you?
I'd say my 30s so far have been a roller coaster of emotions.
That's it, a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, and there's been highs and lows. And I think one thing that I'm realising is that everyone's journey is different. And I cannot compare my journey to other people's. Like, I just can't. And I can't get sucked into that social media perfect life, because it doesn't exist. And I also have, like, I'm learning to be grateful for what I have. Like, I think sometimes we can forget how far we've come and forget to be grateful for where we are. Because, like, when you really deep it, there are probably people out there that wish they could be in the position that you're in.
Oh, 100%.
So I want to learn to be more grateful for where I am. I've definitely enjoyed my 30s a lot. Like, I've had some great moments. And now that I'm going to be turning 36,
Ooh,
so I'm hitting, like, you know, like when they ask you, like, when you have to round up your age.
Oh my
I've
God,
now
you
got to
are
stay
above it, aren't you? Because it's 35 and under, isn't it? I feel like I'm still in the 20 to something bracket.
No, I'm going to be like the 36 to 40 bracket now, like near my 40s. But I'm not even scared about it. I'm actually excited for what's next. There's this saying, and I believe I have actually been this person my whole life, is like, you know, they say that you either look at the glass being like half full, like half empty, or half full. I have always believed that I've looked at things as half full. And that's how I'm going to continue doing things. Like, even when things, like, say, when we're feeling this lost feeling of not knowing what's next, that's okay, because we don't have to have it all figured out now.
It's been really nice actually talking today, and I'm really looking forward to watching this back and doing the editing and reflecting.
Okay, I want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in for the last 5 episodes. We made this goal for 2025, and we've done it. And I can't wait to see what's coming in 2026, and can't wait for you to go along this journey with us.
Yes, thank you for coming along on this journey with us. And here's to me turning 35 in 2026. And yeah, here's to being 30.